Good morning. This is Around the House with Kay and Tom. This morning I am going to fix a chuck roast, and what I'm going to use is I'm going to use some beef broth, a can of cream of mushroom soup, an onion, some carrots, and some little red potatoes. First off, I'm going to do is I'm going to sear this meat. A lot of people don't do this, but I've read up on it and it said it sure will hold the flavor a lot longer. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take this chuck roast here and I'm going to sear it. And the only way I know to sear anything is put some oil in a pan, get it hot, and brown it, put it in there, and they say cook it no more than 2 minutes on each side, just so it gets brown and it locks in the flavor. So let's do that first. I'll wash off the meat a little bit. If you like to spice up your meat a little bit, this would be the time to do it. But I'm just going to put salt and pepper on this one today. And I've got my grease heating, and I'm going to put it over here in the frying pan. Okay, I've got my meat seared a little bit. What I'm going to do now is get all my ingredients, because I'm going to put it in the crock pot. Get my carrots in a bowl, wash them right here. And we're going to use red potatoes today. You can use any kind of potatoes that you like. I just happen to like little red ones. And we're going to cut up this onion. Have it ready to go. I try to get all my ingredients ready to put in the pot. And I'm going to let it cook 5-6 hours. I'm using a crock pot. I've got a little bit of stuff I need to do today, so I will get it all set up and go do what I have to do. And if it doesn't rain, it's going to be mowing the grass and get that done. And you put how much onions you like in it. I usually just get like a medium, large size. It could be either one. I think this was a large onion. And I'm just going to cut it up just a little bit and dump it all in the pot. Then tonight for dinner, everything is done. There we go. Let me put this in a bowl and get this out of the way. Then we'll get the meat in the pot and we'll put everything else in there. This is Around the House with Kay and Tom. Please subscribe to my channel. Okay, and there's the onions. And we will use a cup of beef broth. And we're going to use a can of cream of mushroom soup. When Tom used the crock pot, he would always put something down up under the crock pot so the heat wouldn't go through the counter. So I've got these 2 pieces of towel that he always used. Just set your crock pot on there. There we go. This is really, once you get all your ingredients cut up and put, it is really an easy thing to do. So what we're going to do now is put the beef in the pot. Add the carrots. This is just a small bag of carrots. I really like carrots, so I'm not cutting them up. If you cut them up too much, it will be mush. So let's don't have anything mushy today if we can help it. I just sort of look over my potatoes just a little bit Sometimes they're fine. Sometimes they have a little black spot on them, and I cut that out. And again, you do not have to use red potatoes, but this time I am. And it's probably all in my head, I guess, but for some reason, red potatoes just have a better flavor and hold the shape. And well, I might as well go ahead and put these other two in there. It's going to be a big pot. I'll have to be thinking about who am I going to call and tell them to come over and have some pot roast with me tonight. And we put our onions in here. I'm going to put just a little bit more pepper on there. And I'm going to take this cream of mushroom soup. But I'm going to mix it in a bowl first with a cup of beef broth. And I'm just going to use this same can right here to measure my beef broth. And that way it won't be lumpy. I really think with this big meat that I've got, I'm going to put 2 cans of beef broth in there, because that meat was really a big piece of meat. And I actually got the smallest one they had in the store. Okay, we've got that all mixed up. And I'm just going to pour this right over the top of what I've already got in here. Yeah, that's good. And we're going to put the lid on it. And I'm going to leave it on high until I get ready to leave the house. And when I leave the house, I'll cut it back down on low. And again, around the house with Kay and Tom, it's just a quick roast. Carrots, potatoes, onions, cream of mushroom soup, and beef broth. It should be ready in this afternoon, and I'll come back. Well, this around the house with Kay and Tom, this has been cooking for about 6.5 hours. So let's just see what we have. Well, it is so done. I was going to lift it all up in one piece and put it over here in a plate, but I see that I'm not going to do that very well. So let me see if I can get something better to lift it with. I'll show it to you in just a second. Let me get the rest of this out. Boy, it is really, really done. If you're going to have a roast, this is what you need to do. You need to put it in your crock pot and let it cook. Like I say, now this has been cooking probably 6.5 hours, somewhere in there. I can honestly say it shrunk, but of course it's all to pieces, so you really can't tell exactly how big it was. Let's just see how tender everything is. Oh, the potatoes are really, really tender. Oh, the carrots are I like them. Now let's just see how the meat is if you cut a piece of the meat. Well, it's just falling all apart. You're not going to be able to have a pretty slice, but you're going to sure have a piece of meat. It's just, I can't even pick it up. So what I'm going to do now is fix me a plate, and I'm going to sit down, and I'm going to have some dinner. I've just got through mowing the grass, shower, and so I'm going to call it a night, I think. Around the house with Kay and Tom. And this is just regular chuck roast with potatoes, carrots, and onions. And it really, really looks good. Like I say, it's just come all to pieces. But that is sort of the way I like mine. So again, around the house with Kay and Tom. Come back to see me and have a very good night.